Welcome to Mower Mike's Garage. Today we're gonna do something a little different, a little fun. We're gonna do a lawn sprinkler test. Now for you hardcore mower nuts, there will be more mower fix-it videos coming within a few days, but we're just gonna relax a little bit, do something a little goofy. Now personally, I hate watering my yard. I don't believe in it. It's a pain in the butt, but it's gotten so dry here in Texas, I've gotta water something. We gotta get something going. And I've always been kind of intimidated by sprinklers. There's so many different types. It's like, which one should I use for what situation? So I said, forget it. And I ordered every type of sprinkler I could on the old Amazon. And they just started mailing me more and more sprinklers and stuff, and, tons of sprinklers. So these are the top 5 that we're going to test today. Now these represent various different types of sprinklers. We're not comparing different brands. We're comparing different styles. So start from your left to your right. This one's, an old school pulsating sprinkler. Just a typical cheap, I think that one was $5. Here we've just got a garden sprinkler, the one that just goes in circles. We're gonna test that one out. Here we've got an Aqua Oscillator. Now these are the rainbow sprinklers that go, and it's, that's the one for beer drinking there. Now this one's kind of crazy. This is a Melnor Turbo Mini Max. Now it's a type of oscillator sprinkler, but it's a little different, a lot more control, so I'm curious how that comes out. And this is the Mac Daddy, this is the big boy. This is a Aqua pulsating sprinkler with a 4-foot stand, and it actually extends up. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now the 3 things we're gonna measure the range, how far out it goes, and then we're gonna measure the soakability. So I'm actually gonna have a rain gauge to measure how much water actually gets sprinkled. And then I've got a whole herd of dogs here, so we're gonna measure dog survivability. See if any of my dogs go destroy your new sprinkler, because we sure don't want that happening, because I'm sure there's some dog lovers out there. So let's get started. So just to prove to everybody that we've got a legit scientific sprinkler test going on here, I'm gonna show you what gear I'm running. First, we got the Yard Butler hose reel. This is a very serious hose reel. I've tried a lot, it's the best one by far. We've got real solid rubber tires on here, ladies and gentlemen. There's no foam in these tires, so none of that foam crap that other guy's selling on YouTube. Then we come over here, and what we've got is a Beehive automated on or offer water system. So you can do this one manually, or you sit on a system, on a timer, or you can actually control it off Wi-Fi. You imagine that? Wi-Fi sprinklers. Now coming over here, this is one I'm most proudest. What I've got a splitter on here running to the Beehive on one side. But the other side, I've got an actual PSI meter. So you can see here that these sprinklers are running 60 plus PSI. So we're running some serious water pressure through these sprinklers. And that's why we started this test with some serious safety gear on. But I don't know how long that safety gear is gonna last based on this last situation. So I just want to show you guys what we're running, and then we're gonna get in the actual sprinkler action. So on to our next sprinkler fun here. Next one, we've got the oscillating sprinkler. This is more your lazy day. Let's say you're drinking beer, you want to get a little wet, but not too wet. This is that type of sprinkler. Now, before we go any further, I forgot to introduce my co-host. This is Alabama. Alabama, say hi to the world. Now, Alabama is about a year old. She's a little crazy. She's a half something else. I don't know. She's just a big black dog. And we had a little discussion during the break here, and she said, Mower Mike, you're a moron. Why are you putting a rain jacket and goggles on me? It's like, I love water. I was like, okay, Alabama, let's check all your stuff off. So we have completely foregone our safety protocol, and we're just winging it here. So hopefully I don't get hurt, but let's move on. So I'm gonna get out here and do the range of the oscillating sprinkler. Alabama, come on. Let's see if Alabama has any desire in the world for dogability of the oscillating sprinkler. What do you think of this one? Yeah, it's a little easier. Are you not a sprinkler dog? Oh my God. The whole dogability thing might be a total fail. But this one seems like it's actually putting out more water than that pulsating one. We only got 1/10 of an inch on that pulsator for 30 minutes, which is quite disappointing to me. So this whole thing, I'm just gonna get wet. And apparently Alabama does not want to get wet. So we're out here, let's see. See, I'm about 31 foot. So times 2, that's 62 feet. So that's a decent distance, but it's nothing compared to the pulsator. So we might be giving up a little distance for some extra soakage. We'll find out here in a minute. But let's move on. We'll give it a chance. Alabama, you got any desire for the oscillator? Come on. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, we got a little play action. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. What do you think the oscillator? What do you think about oscillator? Yeah? Yeah? Ow! 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 Ah! She's going crazy on the oscillator! Ah! That's the guy playing with his dog. Alright, let's move on to the next. Alright, gang, next we're going to get a range. What I'm doing is take the diameter of the sprinkler spray zone. See what she's adding up to. Now, pulsating sprinkler usually is your longest range sprinkler in the garage. But being a very exact test here at Mower Garage, I want to be freaking exact. So I think a lot of these sprinkler companies are lying to us as far as range numbers. So let's say you see what you get. Oh, what? She's got a good spread. She's got a good spread. All the way. Boom. Right here. Right here. We're at 42-foot diameter, which times 2 is 84 feet. Yep. That's like mathematics tech. So we got an 84-foot range here. We're going to let her run for about 30 minutes and check the socket on my pretty butterfly ring gauge. As you see, the dog has no effect. She has no care at all for this pulsating sprinkler. So let's move on to our next sprinkler. We've got another co-star here. This is Bocephus. He's about 30-year-old, another black dog, just a little furrier. So what we've got here is the Melnor Mini Max Turbo, which, guys, I had no idea what type of sprinkler this was. But when I got it out and I started playing with it, what it is, it's an oscillating sprinkler that has adjustments on the side of it. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, watch this. I can make this adjustment and shoot the white. Boom! Nailed you. You can adjust sideways, in and out. You can see, now we just totally cut off this whole side. How cool is that? You can adjust it. You're essentially adjusting and allowing another sprayer as you click it forward. And the same with the other side. So if you just want the middle, this is one pretty cool sprinkler. You can also adjust the, whoa, we're getting real wet. You can adjust how far it goes, everything else. So we're gonna go ahead and get a radius sign on it. You can see my dog is lazy and does not care for sprinklers at all. So the whole dogability thing might be out the window, but I can still get a measurement on her. All right, Alabama, sprinkler, sit, 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 sit. Oh, I almost got myself good sprinkler. All right, here we are. We're gonna run that. All right, here we are. We are at, let's dig into millimeters. We don't do millimeters. Oh my gosh, we're at 35 feet. This is actually 3 feet longer, well, times 2, 6 feet longer than the last oscillator. So a pretty dang impressive sprinkler. Now we're gonna let her run for another 30 minutes to see the soakage meter on it and let her rip. So we're learning all sorts of new things today, kids. All right, let's go to the next sprinkler. What we've got here is the most expensive sprinkler in the whole test. This is the Aqua pulsating sprinkler with a freaking stand. This is like a $70 sprinkler. And I think we've got a fail in our hands. You know, I rigged it up. You know, I've got the fancy blue stand going here. It all comes in one piece. But as you can see, even with 60 PSI water pressure, this thing just, it doesn't oscillate. And I've tried fixing it, and this thing comes with a defaulty head. So Aqua sucks. I would never buy Aqua stuff again. I've been very frustrated with this whole situation. I've never spent this much money on a sprinkler, especially if it's failed. But you're in luck, this is Mower Garage, so we're gonna bust some tools out, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the pulsating head off my other sprinkler, and we're gonna swap her out and get her rotating, at least get a range reading on this sucker. So with that, let me go ahead and let's move in and get her fixed. Okay, so now to take these heads off these sprinklers, it's amazingly easy, especially if you've been watching my videos. If you've watched my videos, then you are quite the mechanic. So we just take this piece of junk head off here. And I was reading the reviews on this thing, and they are not the best reviews in the world. There are a lot of upset people with Aqua so definitely do not suggest it. But I am very curious, having a 4-foot tall stand on here, you know, what difference is that gonna make on my range readings? Because before, this one was at sea level, and now we're going up 4 feet. So that's a big difference, at least in my small world I live in. And I really want to see what happens here. Even the base of this dang thing leaking, and it's just a piece of junk. It doesn't stay like that. I'm just very unhappy with my Aqua experience. But all right, she's on there. So we're gonna get a range rating and crank the water back on and see how it works. Okay, we're gonna get a range rating on her. See, we got a little wind with it. I'm going for some long distance flow here. We're gonna get wet. Oh, this is not going as planned. Oh! Come on, stay in there. Oh boy, we're getting wet. We're getting real wet. I'm thinking of rain drain out of this. Alright, come on, Aqua Joe. Stand here for another 3 minutes. Even the piece of jug stand's fitted on me. I tell you what, this thing. Now I gotta wait for the thing to come all the way around. But the other pulsator, she works pretty good. And my wood dog Mammer's finally gonna get wet on this one. So what we're looking for, see, she goes longer than 42 feet, which is the base model. Oh boy, yeah, we're definitely coming out here in waves. Okay, right there, I got a reading. You won't believe this. 43.5 feet. 4 foot of elevation gets you an extra, what, 3 foot. I don't think it's worth it, ladies and gentlemen. I go sea level on this all day long, not mess with the sand. So that's my verdict. I've always wondered that. So let's move on to the next sprinkler. Now this sprinkler is the cheapest one of the bunch. It's $8.99 on Amazon. Just want to try it out. We're going from the $70 piece of junk to $8.99. It can't get any worse than an Aqua Joe, right? So I've set it up here. This is your just typical garden sprinkler. Just you'll notice one thing here. This is just dirt. Now my wife's family's from West Texas. If you've ever been there, you know it's a lot of dirt, and they call themselves dirt farmers out here. So the wife's family insists I keep at least one patch of dirt here to keep them feeling like they're at home when they come visit. So I try to keep this without grass. So maybe a miracle will happen, we'll go grass, but I really doubt it. So let's go ahead and get a measurement. You can see the dog is really enjoying the sprinkler. I mean, I think she likes a little softer rain. I mean, this thing's throwing some water. So I'm gonna get wet. Oh my gosh. Damn it! Ah! Gosh, dang it. Ah! What? Oh, what range we got here? Dang millimeters. Let me see. I don't feel any water. There it is, right there. Hey, this is respectable. This is 23 feet. So 23 times 2, I think, is 48. So, you know, not a bad range when you're running 6 PSI water pressure. And it looks like she's putting out a lot of water. Now, we've got our rain gauge over there to get a measurement off it for soakage. But not a bad looking sprinkler. Maybe I'm just so hurt after Aqua Joe. This one's looking good to me. But, you know, we'll move on and see what happens. We have the big finale. Now, this sprinkler is what started this whole sprinkler thing in my head. What we've got is the Holy Cow. Now, when we were out in Branson, Missouri, we came across a house that had like 15 of these in the front yard. We're like, oh my gosh, we gotta get some of them cattle in our front yard with a sprinkler. And we researched, and we finally found them. There's a lady in Branson, Missouri that actually makes these Holy Cow sprinklers. So we got one on Etsy, and here it is. And it's working pretty good. It's about 50, 60 bucks. You put it together at your house, and it's a pretty neat deal. So as you can see, the radius, this one's a little different one. Where she put out some water. Not sure on how effective it is for sprinkling, but it sure looks funny. All right, so we're at an honest 11 foot radius, and it's not going the other way. So we got 11 foot spray on here. Might be good for a garden or something like that, and it's not for sprinkling, to be honest with you. This is just for funny. You're gonna have kids all over the place making fun of this thing, probably stealing it out of your front yard. But funniest dang sprinkler I've ever seen in my life. So with that, let's move on back to the Mower Mike garage, and we're gonna do a full analysis of what we found out here, run the numbers, and see who came on top with the sprinkler game. And we're back at Mower Mike's garage. Holy cow! Whoever thought testing sprinklers would be so much dang work? We've been shooting for 4 or 5 hours, you know, to run each of these sprinklers through the testing, full phase with 30 minutes of the 3-5 dogs, how many dogs we got here. I'd rather shoot a mower video any day of the week than that so much. I even found my whole bottle of Buffalo Trace here, because I really don't think anybody's watching by now anyways, 15 minutes of sprinkler testing. But hey, we got some results. I'm gonna throw the numbers out there, and I tell you what, I was surprised. I really didn't expect it to go this way. But it's pretty cool. I think I actually learned something. Hopefully you learned something too. So let's get down there to my board. So let's go through the fun stuff. Let's get to the hard numbers of what went on in this freaking crazy sprinkler test. Now what I've got here is the type of sprinkler across the top and the 3 different elements I measured. So let's go to the first one. The first one's the Pulsator. The I had to shrink it a little bit, but the Pulsator, so that's this one, $5 on Amazon. It actually did pretty good. When you look at the range for a $5 sprinkler at 84 feet diameter, I mean, that's pretty fat range. But the problem with the Pulsators is you don't have any control. I mean, it's doing a half circle or some sort of circle, and you can't control the size of that circle. Soakage at 0.2 of an inch, that's pretty freaking lame. For 30 minutes of sprinkling, I was shocked by that these pulsating sprinklers, they use the water pressure to get out there far, but it takes so much water pressure, it's not really soaking in. So I wouldn't call this a soaker. As far as dog analysis, they didn't really care about it. They were a little scared of the sprinkler, actually. I've seen dogs actually destroy these types of sprinklers. So it's kind of a wild card. It just kind of depends on the dog. Next go on to the garden sprinkler. This is your real cheapo little spinny sprinkler. You know, for a super cheap sprinkler, 46 foot diameter. It actually had a better soakage rate than the Pulsator, 0.3 of an inch. Still, you're not getting a whole lot, and the dogs were playful. For me, for this one, if you just have a little garden, that's what they're meant for. Or if you just want to get the kids wet or the dogs wet, go for the little garden sprinkler. You probably get one for $2 at Walmart. Now let's go on to the oscillator, the first one, the blue one. Now I didn't tell you guys, this is the best oscillator you can buy on Amazon. Well, price-wise, it's freaking expensive. The Aqua Joe, but after this test, I'm not a fan of the Aqua Joe. This is the Aqua Joe indestructible sprinkler with all the different controls on here. And it had a 64-foot diameter, which is pretty, I didn't expect that much of an oscillating sprinkler. Half-inch soakage rate, which was huge. Now these oscillating sprinklers, they go slow and they don't go that far, but the reason why is because they're soaking in a ton of water. When you get half-inch compared to the 0.2 of an inch on the Pulsator, that's big time. Dogs didn't really care about the oscillators. They couldn't give a damn. I don't know what to tell you there. Some dogs might like it. Mine apparently did not. Maybe black dogs don't like oscillating sprinklers. Let's move on to the Turbo. This is the Melnor Turbo one, the mini turbo. This to me was the most impressive sprinkler of the whole bunch by far, because it had 70-foot radius, which actually was larger than the oscillator. So this one had 74 radius, but the best thing that is not on this chart is that you can control it. You see you've got your knob here to control width on one side, control width on one side, then you got a knob here to control distance. This to me is a very, very, very impressive sprinkler. Let's keep going before we announce a winner. Next, you guys saw my frustrations with the Aqua Joe pulsating on a stand. Complete piece of junk. I don't think this is worth anything. It's just going in the scrap pile. Hopefully Amazon takes it back. The range was the interesting part. Now when I put the oscillating head off the Pulsator here, well I put the pulsating head, I swapped it off the cheapo and put it on the stand here just to see what a stand gets you. So a 4-foot stand only got us 3 extra feet of diameter. So all those expensive stands they're selling on Amazon, I say it's not worth it. They fall over, they don't get you much more distance. Just get the cheapo, sticks right in the dirt, easy breezy, stands are BS. And as you know, this one DQ'd, it just pretty much crapped the bed on me. Next one is the Cow. Now the Cow's a very special sprinkler, but you know, it's a specialty sprinkler. It's for kids, it's for show, you know, but it's super, super cute. I mean, it was fun to put together. It was like a little arts and craft project. But let's see if I can get her in the picture. And it looks like it's peeing out the tail. For show and for have something in the front yard, I'm all for it. There's something for the kids. We got an 11-foot diameter on it. And it, you know, if you're trying to actually water the yard, it's just spraying in a like a circle 8. So it's not really sprinkling. Couldn't get a soakage reading on it because I couldn't find where to put the soaker. The dogs did love the sprinkler. Off camera, they had a lot of fun. I had to put down old Betsy and put her away before the dogs took care of her. Okay, so let's finally wrap up this sprinkler video. Now let's get down to brass tacks. If I had to recommend a sprinkler after all the sprinkling I've freaking done today, what would I go with? I think you already know. This Melnor Mini Max sprinkler with these controls on it. You can't beat it. For the size of the yard, for a big yard, small yard, little apartment yard, it has so many controls on it. You can control exactly where you're sprinkling and how much. And to me, it's just an awesome technology. And I'll put a link to Amazon on where you can buy that. It also has an oscillator sprinkler. I mean, same design where you hit the different controls on it. They sell a few different ones. So that's my suggestion. So with that, This was a beauty. Please subscribe, and we're going to come up with some more mower fix-it videos, and let me know what you think, or just make fun of me. Mower Mike out. Okay, Mower Mike here with our first dog survivability test. This is against the pulsating sprinkler. Are you ready for this, Alabama? Are you ready? Get baited up. You're a mean bitch. You're a mean bitch. All right, let's go see how she does. Hey, get that sprinkler. Come on. Get it. Get it. Ah!